Hey friendos, my name is Nez and welcome back to Monster Camp. Today we're going after yet another secret ending. Which one though, we have no idea because it'll be decided by the drinks at one's bar. But we are back at it again for another week at Camp Spooky. Let's play! One player, short game. Ah, Camp Spooky, the stage of some of our dearest summers. Back then we were young and unafraid. With school far away, everything seemed possible as the sun embraces on our way to camp. Summer has that distinct power, doesn't it? You live for the days while the nights inebriate you with the possibilities. It's like life could take a turn at every corner. And for us it did. Who are you? Let's play as Red.
Let's win at camping.
And then we pack some random bullshit into our backpack. One might say that the Monster Prom had hardened us in the highs and lows of love. But no, in love we're always absolute beginners. And summer camp was no different. No one talked about it, but the idea of summer camp loomed over our heads. Close to the last day of camp, there was a meteor shower happening just 3 weeks away. Everyone knew that if you were into someone, you would watch that damn thing together. And so a silent yet powerful pressure invaded all of us. It was the Monster Prom all over again. Everything seemed uncertain, everything but one thing. Whoever we were asking on a meteor shower date, it was probably going to be one of the 6 coolest people on the bus. Joy Johnson Jojima, a badass which wanted to chill a bit after saving the world countless of times. Ravi Mishra, a hot-headed adventurer possessed by a curse who had turned out to be the most annoying roommate ever. Calculester Hewlett Packard, a library computer had become a sentient robot ready to experience life to its fullest. Dahlia Kino, a buff blue demon and warmonger who had set her sights on conquering summer next. Demi LeVay, a fearless demon with a taste for destruction and a love of fire. And Milo Belladonna, a Death Reaper doubling as an internet influencer who was profoundly in love with life and all of its earthly pleasures. The bus trip was long and all of summer could be shaped by the very first step well taken. And so it was clear, it came down to breaking the ice and causing a good impression with the right person. Who do we break the ice with? Break the ice by doing something unexpected on the bus. Ride the bus to victory, make sure the bus is happy. Play dead. Just press the skip button. Start a fire. Or perform a magic trick. I say we make sure the bus is happy. We're going after Calculester.
What a lovely suggestion, Nez. I was just beginning to worry about the bus's well-being myself. I've been monitoring the bus's speed against its level of jitterness, and the overwhelming diesel fumes that permeate the cargo hold in which we sit in for a while. And I have come to the conclusion that, like me, the bus needs to be adequately fueled by an outside source to continue operating well. You know what I'm saying, of course. This bus needs a stabler Wi-Fi signal. I've turned on my personal hotspot, so the bus should be happy soon. But perhaps while I overextend my own signal, you could turn on your hotspot too so I could latch on.
Well, Cal's heart is in the right place, though you may need to explain gasoline to him. On the other hand, sharing your Wi-Fi signal with him is probably the closest thing to human touch he can experience, so that's a big win for you. We only have 3 weeks left though to woo our crushes and conquer their hearts. But as I already said, we were young and unafraid and we were ready to start. Okay, week 1 morning. Where do we go? Let's go to the woods. Today you decide to hike all the way across the woods. You want to see what's on the other side. It's a long and treacherous hike. That ends up only taking an hour. I guess these woods aren't that big after all. How do you and your friends get lost in them so often? Anyway, it turns out there's a library at the other side of the woods. You go in and read some books and something and gain 2 smarts. Later, you're busy making Bionicles smooch each other until Calculester grabs you, Damon, and Dahlia and leads you deep into the woods.
Friends, thank you for responding to my behavior. I was trying my best to simulate severe distress. First off, greetings.
I bestow my greetings! Hey!
I have assembled you here because, as you can see, there is a critical plant emergency in the forest. These plants are failing to pollinate. The situation is dire. There is a 99.98% likelihood that this will negatively affect the plant population of the woods.
Are you saying what I think you're saying? Are we in the middle of a plant apocalypse?
Dahlia, that is completely accurate. Also, I admire your word choice. Please, I need you 3 to help me save these botanical organisms.
Plants are actually pretty fucking metal. Did you know there are plants that can eat a whole car if you dare them to? I'm down to help.
I am not certain that's accurate, but I am also excited that you have agreed to help me.
Have no
I will also help! Hail Dahlia, savior of plants! Bahaha! Oh, and before I forget, I just have one question. What is pollination and why does it matter even at all? Oh, that is an excellent question. Plant biology is one of my favorite internet search terms, so I'd be happy to give you an explanation. Simply put, pollination is the act of transferring pollen grains from the male anther of a flower to the female stigma.
Wait, is pollination the reason why trees smell like jizz in the spring? I was getting the weirdest boners from that smell last year!
Pollen travels from one flower to another via animals or insects. We call animals or insects that transfer pollen from plant to plant pollinators.
Damn, those pollinators just roll around from one flower to another, getting all covered in all those pollen grains, soaking everyone in that filthy, filthy pollen.
Eggplant. Once pollen is transferred between flowers, the flower can produce a seed. Seeds contain the genetic information to produce a new plant.
Holy shit! Pollination gets plants pregnant? Are you telling me that pollination is just plant fucking? Yes it is. I am mildly aroused by pollination. We should help these plants immediately. Time to take that mild arousal to full-blown plant boner. Get these plants in the woods to pollinate, baby. Okay, what do we do? Turn down the lights, play some smooth music, install a TV that only plays the B-movie, and these plants will be wet with pollen in no time. Or 4 plays the key. Look for the nearest tree and start caressing its nuts. I say we go with the B-movie. No, not charming enough.
Yes, Nez, that's perfect. We just need to create a sexually enticing atmosphere. I'll work on the jazz.
Me and Dahlia will do the mood lighting. It can't be that hard to dim the lights in the forest, right? And so that leaves you to handle the ultimate sexy mood setter, the TV that only plays the B-movie. Shockingly, the TV is surprisingly easy to set up in the forest. Somehow, one of the nearby trees has a functional power outlet.
We tried our best to create a sexy atmosphere, but it does not seem to be working. Sadly, I have not observed a single plant begin the pollination process.
Yeah, honestly, these plants seem totally bored by this shit. They don't care about bees or movies. What the fuck?
Maybe we just don't know what they're into. I mean, these are clearly young adult plants, and I'm technically middle-aged in dog years.
Dahlia's right. You're way too old and disconnected from plant culture to know what's hip anymore. You do some research using this strange tool called the internet. Apparently, plants are totally hooked on video games nowadays. They seem to be especially in love with a wacky dating sim called Prom. These video games seem to be the root of all these plant problems. Get it? Also, fun fact, all narrators love puns. You share your findings with Cal.
Fascinating. Plants are so invested in these fictional plants that they have lost all interest in the IRL pollination. Okay, we obviously need to play Plant Prom and read every single Plant Prom fan theory. This counts as research.
Did you guys see the Plant Prom section on AO3? Fuck, this fanfiction is so detailed. And so before you know it, your friends are ass deep in this fandom and arguing about their favorite plant ships. Damien, you ship Venus Flytrap with Lily and Rose? Blasphemy! Flyzalia is the only ship that makes sense for Flytrap! Shut up! Are you fucking kidding me? If you consider Flytrap's backstory for a single second, no sane person would ever pair him with Azalea! Besides, my ship is literally canon!
You're both objectively incorrect. Stephanotis floribunda common milkweed is OTP.
You try to remind your friends that the whole point of this was to help the plants pollinate. You know, to prevent the whole forest from dying out. I'm sorry, Nez, but Plant Pirate 9002 just released the 900th chapter in his Lily Hydrangea AU slow burn. I do not have the processing power for this conversation. It's too late. Your friends have forgotten the beauty of forging real plant-on-plant connections. They're clearly not interested in actual plants in the actual forest, or in you. You're heartbroken. Yet another friend lost to the Plant Prom fandom. You lose your faith in meat space along with 2 smarts and 1 charm. Plant Prom has sabotaged us. Why must degenerates only be attracted to 2D fictional characters? Oh, the shame. Anyway, week 1 evening. Where do we go? Let's go to the manor. That day in the haunted manor, you accidentally stumble upon a cult meeting in the hallway. The cultists are wearing terrifying black robes, standing over a bloodied body and chanting. You try to flee, but one of them shoves a flyer into your hand. The ink burns your eyes out to read, but you manage to find the words, "Your crews get healthcare benefits with same-day sign-up." What's sold? You get a bunch of new cultist buddies and your new insurance covers spontaneous 2 boldness growths. Very cool. However, a wall collapses and there's Dahlia with her fists out. Calculaster stands sheepishly next to her.
May I chime in?
Friend Dahlia, there was a door a mere 36 centimeters from the impact point of your punch.
Dahlia
So, we Akinos make our own doors. I respect your rich family history of punching your way through walls. However, I feel it is my duty to inform you that utilizing pre-existing doors is 3.1 times more efficient than punching through walls and reduces knuckle wear and tear. Ah yes, this is why you're such a powerful ally, Calculester! I never would have thought of using doors on my own! Hey, let's try this one over here!
Dolly opens the door to her left and a deluge of screaming tongues pour out. Neither she nor Calculester seem the least bit startled by this.
Friend Dahlia, I had no idea you two were incapable of fear. Bonding experience initiated. What? No! I definitely experience fear. I'm just not afraid of a closet full of screaming tongues specifically. A healthy sense of fear is an important survival trait and a necessary quality in a good leader. My fears include not being the best, exploding in institutional racism. Ah, I see. I thought I had found someone else like me, but instead it seems I am both a poor facsimile of a living creature and a poor leader. Oh well. Chin up, my metal friend, it's gonna be okay. I have no chin, and no, it is not. Yes, it is, because Nez and I are gonna teach you how to feel fear so you can become the greatest leader you were born to be. I was also not born. So you can be the greatest leader you were made to be. Yes, that's it.
Pretty sure Dahlia is not going to be able to accomplish this monumental task on her own. You're going to need to step in. Luckily, you know just how to scare Calculester. Well, we tell him the spooky story of Y2K. Or take him to the digital haunted house known as the Dark Web. I say we bring him to the Dark Web, question mark? So very bold, yep. I have heard of the Dark Web, Nez. I have even been there. Alas, it has failed to scare me. Maybe Calculester's been to the Dark Web, but he can't possibly have seen the worst of it. It takes a truly deprived mind like yours to really plunge the depths of the Dark Web. You whip out your laptop and show him what you mean. Whoa, this page is offering to sell drugs! And the drugs are actually just crushed up assault weapons! Doesn't that scare you, Calculester? Sadly, all I feel is confusion at the author's lack of punctuation. This page lets you buy a private army which you can use to literally massacre whoever you want! Just really go to town, I don't care. Spooky, right? I find it disturbing that the seller only accepts payment in doggy coin, but beyond that, I feel nothing. What about this collection of horrifying JPEGs? Have you ever seen a man jerk off this many astronauts? It's insane! It is wrong to kink shame, friend Dahlia. Astronauts should be permitted to enjoy being masturbated to, and some people even find them very appealing. Oh, I'm sorry. No, it is I who am sorry. I lashed out because I was frustrated by my inability to experience... Oh no. No! Nez! What are you doing? Ah! What? I thought you weren't afraid of the Dark Web! I am not, friend Dahlia. I am afraid because Nez is accessing the Dark Web using Internet Explorer. Wait, what? Is that not how you're supposed to access the Dark Web? Technically, that's not even possible. You can't even go there without using a special browser like Tor. Apparently not, because then some hackers just take over your computer and transform it into a gun which then they use to try and mug you. Luckily, money is in the stat in this game, so you lose nothing of real value. Meanwhile, Calculester has learned what it means to experience fear. Nice! You gain 2 boldness and 1 fun. Well, the thing that scares Calculester the most is unsafe internet browsing.
Anyone know a good
Who would have known?
story?
Anyway, week 1 night. Who do we talk to? Let's talk to... Mossman! Hi there, Nez, I have a business proposition for you. Wow, if you had a nickel for every time a friend of yours proposed a business to you uninvited. My idea is this, a magazine about Camp Spooky. It'll feature stories about your fellow campers' lives, photography of our fellow campers frolicking, salacious details of our fellow campers' innermost secrets. Okay. It's genius, no? The only problem is I need some groundbreaking gossip to get my publication off the ground. Something the other gossip reporters haven't already gotten their greedy hands on yet. Would you know anything perchance? Fuck it. You've always wanted to give an interview and this might be your only chance. Let's gossip. What do we choose? Nintendo DS Lite, SAT cheat sheet, breast implant, semi-automatic machine gun, Nintendo DS Lite, and orphaned unicorn fowls, neats, underpaid waitresses, xenophobic manatees, neats. Type in an abstract concept. Let's put the color magenta because technically it doesn't really exist. It's just what our brain tries to process when we look at the color with our limited human visual sense. Amazing! This will be the cover for our debut issue, Nez with the Sauciest Secrets. I'm going to do more sleuthing for stories. Catch you later. Your gossip is like a little seed, and you proudly watch it grow to a mighty oak as your friends pass it around the campfire. Is this what having children is like?
Hello.
Hey Nez, so you got any fun hobbies? Baking, gaming, making sentient golems out of clay to do your bidding? Sorry, just trying to make conversation. And also segue into this totally wild gossip I heard about Nez. See, Nez has got a particularly weird hobby. He apparently likes to knit homemade Nintendo DS lights and sell them on Etsy. His store is called Nez's Circle of Magenta. Interesting name, no? Maybe I'll even order something before camp is over. But what's even weirder is at Nez's Circle of Magenta is that Nez gives NEETs a 75% discount on all purchases.
What?
The explanation on the Etsy store page says that Nez wanted to give back to the community that shaped him to the man he is today, whatever that means.
Why yes! What you can do for your fellow NEET is what your fellow NEET can do for you. Or something like that?
Bye.
Personally, I think Nez's hobby only makes him creepier. But hey, to each their own. What do you think?
This will certainly be a rumor to remember, and everyone will definitely remember that Nez lost to creativity. Well, that did not go as expected, but fuck it. What will it be then? Time to drink. We'll use our skills, take a gamble, we'll use our skills. Hopefully we succeed and don't need to reroll. Against your better judgment, he decided to visit one that weekend. Just in time! I just prepared a bunch of drinks. I have no idea what they do. They could make you immortal or turn your blood into mayonnaise. You know, wizard in training, drink at your own risk. But if you've made up your mind, get ready. Drink menu, start! What do we have? Oh, okay. Interesting. Now let's see if we can get any items. Come on, come on. Yes, you two just fight on your own. Fight on your own, you assholes. Fight on your own. Do not push me out, please. Haha, there we go. What do we have? We have Sacred Blood. Ah, the Sacred Blood. Don't ask me where I got it. One thing is clear though, this will attract all vampires everywhere. So, cover your neck and get ready for a fun vampiric adventure.
Put it on my tab.
Oh, so we're doing this plotline. Still hard to believe you drank all of that. Good luck, I guess. Bye, Juan. Thanks for the plotline. Okay. So, where do we go?
Now?
Let's go to the lake. You head to the lake to get your tan on, but as soon as you get there, it starts to rain. Most of the beachgoers leave, but no, you will enjoy your fun lake day, damn it! You had a really rough morning, and now you won't let anything stop you from gaining any fun! You aggressively splash in the lake and laugh as loudly as you can, hoping the clouds will give up on trying to ruin your day. Instead, the lake gets struck by lightning. When you wake up from the electrocution coma, you're on shore, the sun is shining, and you have a cool new facial twitch. You win! You gain 2 fun. Another day at Camp Spooky, another epic showdown between good and evil. Stay away from that magical cat, Dmitri! I could make an uncouth feline pun innuendo about how that isn't what you used to say when we spent warm summer nights together. But there's no time, as I must try the magically delicious blood elixir that Nez left such a good review of. Is there a way to do that without threatening to kill our small magical Latino furry friend, bartender? Not a fun and villainous way, no. And so join Dmitri once again engage in an epic and sexually charged combat, only to be interrupted by Liam Delinecourt, one of the 6 to 8 most charismatic classmates at Spooky High. The presence of the pretentious hipster doesn't perturb you, but for the others. My ex-lover! Joy, they're both your ex-lovers. Father! Wait, what? Father? What do you mean father? Nani? Oh, Dimitri's father! Why did the mood suddenly get awkward between the 3 of you? Yes, Joy's ex-lover! Yes, hello friends. I was drawn here by the rave review of a very cool, very underground new blood drink, but I'm already regretting my decision. You came to visit me at Camp, Daddy! You're going to be so proud of me! Dmitri, I am not your father. I merely turned you into a vampire. And Joy, I thought we both agreed to be noticing but vague and haughtily aloof about our past alliances. Well, it's hard to maintain an aura of haughty aloofness when your ex-lover's father, who is your ex-lover, shows up as you're trying to protect a magical cat from his son who is your ex-lover. Yes, it's a difficult situation to navigate. Please impart to me some wisdom, Papa. Again, I cannot stress this enough. I am not your father, and your choice to embrace mainstream vampire tropes shames me. If this situation is too nuanced for you to navigate, well then, perhaps you could give me life advice on a more, generic father-son situation, Dad. Ta-ta, pop-pop. Okay, this is officially family business and also super weird. I'm out. Yeah, with Joy gone, Liam focuses on Dmitri's plea. He tries to hide it, but you can see Liam does have affection for his pseudo-son, the ex-lover of his lover. Liam looks helpless. Okay? Sure? Liam may be an expert in irony and obscure subcultures, but pseudo-fatherhood is unnatural to him. You give him a prompt on what Dmitri should know. Well, as Dmitri grows up and blooms sexually, he must be taught to navigate the moral complexities of the art of yaoi so he can consume it responsibly. Or, evil cape usage. Yeah, evil cape usage. Interesting prospect. I, of course, no longer wear a cape. A vampire in a cape is so mainstream unless you wear it ironically. Yes, of course, it's genius. So subversive. Well, very well, Dmitri. The highest form of irony is leaning into something so heavily that the outside observer has no idea whether you're being ironic or sincere. Ah, yes, like poggers. No one actually uses that unironically anymore. Ah, yes. Outsiders can never understand the true twisted, terrible yet sublimely beautiful intentions in all my actions. I'm going to assume you're playing into the torture and anguish romantic vampire thing ironically. In which case it's brilliant rather than pathetic. You can use your cape as a prop to enhance your brooding by making dramatic entrances and exits with it. Go on, give it a twirl. Dmitri whips his cape in front of his eyes and then throws it back behind him with a flourish. Like that, Papa? Not bad, not bad. You clearly have a natural flair for it. Try throwing it behind you with a little more torque from the pointer finger and thumb. Dmitri takes the note like a champ. There you go, better already. Now loosen up the elbow a little bit so that when you draw it across your face, it flows more. Here, let me show you. And so Liam twirls his cape with flair and mastery. Liam has his own cape. He's finally acting like a true vampire daddy. Father, that was breathtaking, such form, such finesse, so delicate and fragile yet strong and dangerous. Such a perfect balance of feminine and masculine, good versus evil, hard versus soft, night versus day, addition versus subtraction, cat versus dog. How could I ever achieve it? Remember, Dmitri, I'm 300 years older than you are. You already have much stronger evil cape technique than I did at your age. Really, Dad, you mean it? Of course I do, son. Let's try it again together this time and watch carefully. You watch as kind of father, kind of son twirl their capes together, and you smile knowing you made it happen. Dmitri winks at you and you gain 2 charm and 1 creativity. Well. Okay. So, Dmitri was made into a vampire by Liam. And now we're gonna have a whole father-son bonding plot. Okay, week 2 evening, where do we go? Let's still go to the lake. You decide to bring a metal detector to the lake that day. You scour the beach for buried treasure. You find the keychain, a tin box of stale cookies, which you eat anyway, a glowing chalice that the Knights Templar come to confiscate for some reason. But best of all, you manage to find some genuine silver-plated 2 funds. Score! You're classifying all the different kinds of monsters you interact with from least to most humanoid when you're interrupted by a monster more humanoid than not. Nez, thank goodness I've come upon you in this place, because as much as it pains me to ally myself with Camp Spooky, I find myself in need of help. If you recall, upon our last meeting, you interfered with the affairs of my sire-cum-reluctant father figure, Liam Delinecourt. Since that time, my unholy father and I have been, communicating our dark missives via messenger bat and also text messages. He has agreed to meet me on my own terrifying territory, the dark side. But as you know, my daddy is, he's somewhat reluctant to fully claim me as his precious baby boy in need of fatherly guidance. I want him to be proud of me so we can continue our glorious father-son bonding and take the vampire world by storm. 2 evil forces spurred onwards by the wings of a bat, forged from the same flame and fangs, equal poisons filling our veins 1 generation to the next. Basically, my dad is, coming to visit. What do I do? Aww, this is kind of sweet and endearing, and also kind of weird, but hey, that's the brand. You think for a moment and give Dmitri a foolproof strategy for winning Liam's pride and approval. Liam did use to command the dark side, show him that Dmitri has ushered in a new era for the dark side with your interior design skills. Or, an evil commander is only as good as their evil minions. Prepare a group brunch to let all Dmitri's acolytes shine. We will let the acolytes shine. Naturally, a brunch is exactly the right thing for a vampire of sophisticated taste like my sire. If you can find a place that is appropriately obscure and pretentious, I can gather up my best minions and get them into fighting shape, as it were. Hey, easy enough. You remember from the Monster Prom you attended a spooky high last year, the kind of underground hipster places Liam likes. You make a reservation for one hopeless romantic, 2 vampires, and an unspecified number of dark side minions, and the restaurant steals itself for wacky shenanigans. The tipsy chartreuse narwhal, never heard of it. Which is ideal, the fact that there's no sign advertising its existence and a secret knock to get in shows great promise. I'm glad you like it, Dark Dad Leo. We chose it just to your taste. I trust you'll enjoy the extremely limited selection of foods, all of which taste terrible and have small portions, but are beautifully plated and ripe for documentation. Oh, you know me so well. And so the 3 of you enter the restaurant to take a seat at the table already crowded by Dmitri's various acolytes. Father, this is my right-hand minion, the puckish half-orc rogue Tony Overgallows, always ready with a lockpick and a quip. Ah, yes. I can see that by the way he's cleaning his teeth with a dagger. Reminds me of my old dwarven right-hand man, similarly untrustworthy but appropriately capable of comedic relief. And this is a dark elf priestess, Nikithatha, with whom I have a torrid on-again, off-again romance which brings us both nothing but pain. But isn't that how you conduct all your relationships? Yes, of course. Is there any other way? Oh, to be young and dramatic once more. This is my advisor, the Archbishop of the Church of Satan, who often stands behind me, wringing his hands and muttering under his breath, then going silent when I turn around. You do know he's planning to betray you, right? Naturally, I look forward to killing him. The Archbishop pretends not to hear. Liam and Dmitri laugh. It's a lovely moment. Liam dives into the story of the first coup he stopped. The 2 sip blood orange and also blood mimosas. You gain 2 charm, 1 boldness, and a look of sincere gratitude from Dmitri. We're doing it, friendos! We're giving Dmitri the father-son bonding he's always wanted in life! It feels so wholesome! But somehow I feel like there's gonna be a twist. Anyway, week 2 night, who do we hang out with? Let's go with Milo and Cal. You find Milo and Calculus are drinking enough wine to bleed France dry, which is odd because, you know, Cal doesn't have a mouth. Ah, I have to say, I think that the natural crispness of whatever that is nicely pairs with the gooey processed sweetness of toasted marshmallow. Yeah, the blah blah blah, a lot of pretentious shit. What are your thoughts, Calculus, darling?
I think that a nice box of red wine is exactly what I need to relax after an exhausting PTA meeting and a thoroughly unsatisfying lovemaking session with my husband, Greg.
What on earth are you talking about?
Oh, sorry. Was my meaning not clear enough? Perhaps this minion meme will suffice to explain my thoughts. Look here. It says I whine because my kids whine. What a clever little pun.
Where are you getting your sommelier information from? I don't think it's a terribly credible source.
I fear you are right, friend Milo. But I have no taste buds, and so I have resorted to Google searching I love wine in order to formulate my critique. But I dearly wish to participate somehow. It seems that the bitter tastes of wine and divorce are integral to the organic experience. How can I be a part of it?
Well, what a fascinating aesthetic question. Truly, how can a wholesome computer boy enjoy a wine tasting? Well, a wine tasting isn't about the taste, it's about the drama. How does the wine make you reflect on the fleeting, flavorless joys of life? Or it's okay, Cal, nobody actually drinks wine at a tasting anyway. They just swirl it around and throw 2 random adjectives together and people think that you're cultured as hell.
I am happy.
Oh, how exciting! Now I can finally put that random adjective generator I impulsively downloaded to good use.
Actually, there's more to wine tasting than just making things up and...
Are you sure? Because after swirling this cup of Merlot around a bit, I dub it acutely voluptuous, due to its innovative use of plums.
Okay, what do you think about this Pinot Blanc?
Ah, how delightful! This beverage's 14.2% alcoholic content is both bombastic and slender.
I never would have thought to describe it that way. Could it be that the most refined taste of all is no taste?
Awesomeness levels.
And here we have this rustic brown wine. Its cinnamon overtones are violently hedonistic. Yum!
That's actually whiskey, darling. But I admire your spirit nonetheless. Oh, it was it? Well, that explains why you're pissed drunk after drinking 3 glasses of it. Well, at least Cal is happy with you. It's a voluptuously bombastic evening. Or is it bombastically voluptuous? Whatever, you're wasted! Have fun! Okay, done with those drinks and now on to these drinks. Use our skills, take a gamble. That weekend you feel like getting wasted, so you go visit none other than one. Hola! You know, when I started making magical drinks, I never thought people would actually come to drink them. But hey, who am I to judge? And we have, phobia shots. What do you say, will you drink the drink of the day? Or would you prefer the mystery box? We'll go with the phobia shots. Yeah, no totally, I was testing your common sense. And you passed, your prize is the drink you chose. Okay, phobia shots. Let's do some phobia shots, yeah! You know what they say, if you can't overcome your fears, drink them. Cheers to you, doing that is surely bold.
Put it on my tab.
Wait, did you just eat a part of Oz? Hope you can stomach that, happy trails. Wait a minute, did we just drink a part of Oz? Will that have any repercussions?
Leave it to me.
Probably not, but okay. Anyway, week 3 morning, where do we go? Let's go to the Haunted Manor, yet again. While wandering the Haunted Manor, you're ambushed by a group of evil spirits. You put up a good fight, but there's too many of them and they run away with your immortal soul. Luckily, you always knew this day would come, and you replaced your immortal soul with a Beanie Baby years ago. Good foresight on your part, you gained 2 boldness. But that's all dumb bullshit to what you're really at camp for. Intimate moments with your synthetic crush Cal. You slip away at the first possible moment so you can spend this afternoon with him, romantically going through a book of photographs and telling him which ones are faces. He leans in to get a higher resolution view of one of your images, bringing his face within inches of your face. This moment is unmistakable, you lean in. And kiss him tenderly on the screen, it tastes like a television. You rub your lips and tongue passionately across the slightly warm glass surface, but he's not kissing you back.
What are you doing, friend Nez? Are you attempting to clean my screen? Allow me to provide you with a moist disinfectant wipe.
No, you explained, a bit embarrassed that you were trying to kiss him.
Oh, a kiss. I am delighted to add this to my tally of formative adolescent experiences. And yet, though I like you very much, I cannot help but think this kiss was not as arousing for me as it was for you. Kissing, you see, requires a mouth, which I do not have. I am glad that the hyper-realistic mouth on my screen fooled you, but it is only a simulacrum.
But wait, what about that face on your chest right there? You kinda look like you came from the movie Metropolis.
And don't even get me started on pooping.
You'd rather not, it's already kind of ruining the romantic mood. What you really need is some kind of way to emotionally or physically connect with Cal. But what's the robotic equivalent of smooching? Come on, you've spent your whole horny life training for a situation like this. Well, upload an image of your lips to his hard drive via the most intimate medium, a 3 1/2 inch floppy. Or whisper beautiful numbers to each other. I say we use beautiful numbers. No, we are not smart enough.
Beautiful numbers. Goodness, Nez, I didn't realize we'd reached that stage in our relationship. If kissing is anything like math, then I am beginning to understand why organics are so obsessed with it. Come, friend Nez, stare into my simulated eyes and tell me a beautiful number.
Yeah, you start with the classic 0. It looks like a hole and holes are hot.
A profound and thought-provoking choice, friend Nez. Personally, I'm a fan of the so-called sexy primes. Any pair of primes which differ by exactly 6. 11 and 17 are particularly raunchy. What other numbers do you like?
You, also like 8. It's very curvy.
Another interesting choice. I've always had a soft spot for 16 myself. It's the 69th digits of pi, depending on whether you're counting from the 3 or the 0.1. Controversial.
You're about to counter with a number of your own when you realize you don't know any other numbers. 8 and 0 are the only numbers you ever needed to spell boob on the calculator. You'd never thought you'd need to know any other numbers.
Nez, are you alright? You seem to be sweating quite a lot.
You're fine, you tell him. You always get sweaty when you talk about numbers because that's what makes you, so aroused.
Oh, excellent. What other numbers do you enjoy erotically?
Yeah, so many, you tell him. You can't get enough of 40, Fabio, and 13.
Oh no, Nez! Are you having a stroke? We need to get you to the infirmary immediately!
And so Calculaster rushes you to the infirmary where coach assigns you 6,000 sit-ups to help you, sweat out the ischema. 8 sit-ups in, you break down and tell Cal the truth.
You have somehow
Goodness, what a terrifying indictment of our education system. And to think I was considering inviting you to join a threesome.
You'd be bummed if you knew how many a threesome was. You lose 2 fun and 1 charm. Don't worry, I'll do that math for you. No, we look like a moron to calculus, sir. Whatever. Anyway, we're romancing Dmitri, friendos. We don't need to care. Time for some more father-son bonding. Where do we go? Let's go to Scout HQ. That day, the Monster Scouts hike around the camp cleaning litter to respect nature and stuff. Nobody but Coach gives a damn about picking trash, but it quickly became the contest to find the coolest garbage. Some find used condoms, others find weirdly shaped fruit, you somehow find a Rembrandt that's an original. The mystery of how the Rembrandt ended up there will go on to trigger the most epic adventure you will all go on during this summer, but it won't happen on screen. But you still gain 2 creativity by just looking at it, so magnificent! You're about to do a fun thing with some of the other campers who never get any screen time, but then you're suddenly accosted by Liam Delinecourt, who doesn't even go here. Hello, Nez, may I, for once, step outside my regular demeanor of apathy and ennui to have a sincere and heartfelt conversation? Oh, yeah, you tell him that. Yes, of course, you love sincere and heartfelt conversations, especially if you have a feeling it might advance your relationship with someone else. There's someone else on my mind. The young vampire I sired, Dmitri. Yep, that's the one you were thinking about too. He's got it into his head that because I was a sire responsible for his dark rebirth, our relationship is equivalent to the relationship of one responsible for a regular birth. Although I find the comparison base and devoid of nuance, I cannot deny that it was my action that brought him into this life. Nor I can deny I had a profound effect upon him, and in return that effect is reflected back on me and became, an affection. Yes, affection. It's hard for me to admit, but it's true, and I wonder if perhaps there are ways I could, be a better, father figure to him. Keep in mind, not father, I am not a father. But perhaps I will find some kind of fulfillment in taking in this new parental role. I'm always in search of unique experiences, and this is certainly not one I've had before. But we're simply so different. He's still caught up in the idea of being a vampire, the performance of appearing to be a vampire, rather than just being a vampire. It's been so long since I was a cape-wearing, castle-dwelling commander of the dark side, and he seems to have no interest in the pop-up museums and hidden bars that are my reasons to live. You seem to have been spending a fair amount of time with Dmitri lately, even outside of his usual ambush attempts to recruit new minions to the dark side. Which, by the way, is a perfect example of something I consider to be tasteless and pointless, but in which he engages constantly. Knowing both of us, tell me, what activity could bring us together to bridge this great divide? Oh, that's easy. You know exactly what Liam and Dmitri should do to bond. Well, all vampires are connected by their inexplicable love for fishing, which doubles as an all-time classic father-son activity. Or, just brew together. Yeah, just brew together. Prepare to embrace the sweet seduction of the dark side. Oh, hello, Nez. Hello, father. You know, Dmitri, in the past, had you made such an entrance, I would have chalked it up to your hopeless desire to lean into pathetic vampire cliches. But Nez gave me a realization just now. What I see as over-the-top theatrics, to you probably just seems like brooding. Yes, of course, Papa! My whole personality is based upon a tortured romantic, constantly tormented and always brooding! I viewed it as a manufactured, performative rendition of brooding. But if it's authentic to you, then perhaps it is true brooding. My brooding is authentic, Duddy! I swear it is! You have always been my role model for deep, heartfelt brooding. I just manifested in my way. In that case, my son, figure, let us brood together! The mood immediately darkens, the atmosphere becomes palpable. Fierce looks descend upon the faces of the 2 vampiric companions. Social media these days is being corrupted by desperate preteens thirsty for corporate sponsorship, lacking all self-awareness. Damn you, TikTok, damn you! I once knew the joys and comforts of true love, but now I shall never again, for my heart is too twisted and withered to feel evermore. A long-abandoned skate park I frequented to take black and white pictures has drawn a new crowd of scooter-riding morons after a picture I took went viral. I look at myself in the mirror and in this twisted face, see not the slightest trace of anything that even hints at kindness. Then I realize I am the most unsightly of creatures, a vampire. There is no image in the mirror. My tortured shape is the one I only see in my mind, not in the glass at all. I accidentally said lit unironically the other day. Only 2 people were around, but I asked myself, what if there were more? What if there had been more? The two go on like this for hours, and you're happy you could just show these 2 dweebazoids how much they actually have in common. But based on the smiles they flash at you in between brooding, you see that they're as grateful as you are smug. To clarify, you're very smug. Smug enough to get 2 charm and 1 fun. And there we go, we got these zoo nerds to finally start bonding. For realsies. Time to take Dmitri to the Meteor Shower.
Let's start a fire.
You ask no one to the Meteor Shower. Because instead of finding love, this summer turned out to be more about helping some of your friends reconnect as a family. Hey, Nez, here you are. Dmitri and I wanted to thank you. You and your silly shenanigans actually helped us for once. Yes, thank you, Nez. I missed Papa so much. I mean, I am not your father figure, but if a father is what this one needs, it is true that I'm the one responsible for turning him into an immortal vampire. So I guess it's not outlandish to think that I shouldn't be absent to him if he needs me. Yes, what Papa said! Anyway, thanks again. And they left to do family stuff together. This time you put aside your whole let's get laid shtick and it felt good. There's more important things to life than getting some hot sex. Like helping people you love to reconnect and be in a better place. And remember, you sire another person into an immortal life of vampirism, you should take the time to guide them into their new afterlife. You should know there's consequences to your actions. Don't be selfish and be aware of how others feel about the things that you do. Act accordingly and sire responsibly. Hey, there we go! We brought a family back together. Pseudo-family. A brood of vampires. A cape-wearing twink and a sugar daddy. And before we knew it, those weeks were gone. It felt like a hot minute, and it felt like an entire lifetime. That night, as we saw summer coming to an end, we all wondered what would come next for us. It felt like the end of something big. Little did we know, life still had many wonders and misadventures in store for us. Now I'm older and I can see it, how those years became the foundation of the mythology of our lives. Broken hearts turned tragedies, sung for centuries, wild nights became epics treasured forever. Every kiss and every laugh is now a constellation we'll always find while gazing into the starry night, no matter how many years go by. Even today, I can still close my eyes and I'm there. On that last summer night. Feeling like I was just starting to live life. With all my friends around that campfire. So young and unafraid. And so ready to start. And there we go with Dmitri's secret ending. Still kinda mildly surprised that Liam was his daddy-o. Anyway, if you friendos enjoyed this episode of Monster Camp, leave your comments down below, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell to always stay up to date with our videos. Until our next episode, my name is Nez and thanks for watching. See you all next time. Bye, friendos!